unnecessary pressure. But I'm loving this kind of 2-2 split coming through, right? Two teams towards this western side, two teams over towards that eastern side. But now, Fidan in a very sticky situation, trying to bring in a bit of a hill strat, but the blue zone is not going to be kind whatsoever. So I do think that Twisted Mind's position could be numbered as we now look to see what is going to be happening in towards that zone itself. Still several positions to be held here. Team Umbra now trying to get it under lockdown, and that is going to be the hits as Twisted Mind rather gets taken on down. Now, up to Power, looking to push in from the north. They've got the players here from Umbra in their sights, but BRZ stops one of the players right there in their tracks. Look at Slime going to work as Weiss gets sent away. And down to the final three teams we go. It is going to be Slime, 4KT, Power, as well as Umbra. Now all in contention for this winner chicken dinner. But Umbra definitely having a slight advantage at this point, right? It's still got three players up. Slime still to bring their third one back. And there we go. It is going to be Plaza now back in contention. But again, a slightly exposed position being at play here.
Yeah, Slime 4KT moving on in. They're unfortunately exposing themselves here to not only Umbra, but they have to be careful towards Power as well, just on the side of them, looking now for those angles. As all of these teams are just looking for that one member, that one pixel to stand out.
Oh, and this is an absolute... So just look at the plays coming through here. Now, Slime and Umbra. Oh, looking to see who will be the team to pick up that winner chicken. There we go. The shots coming through. Absolutely insane. Now, could Slime close this one out? Yes, they do. They step up. They lock in that winner chicken. What an absolutely insane performance. I'm pretty sure all the Slime 4KT supporters are going absolutely crazy at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Slime 4KT coming through and against the odds, actually finding a winner chicken dinner there in that final moment. As we said, they had such a rough position moving on down from that ridge line, exposing themselves not only to Power, but also to Team Umbra, but yet they made it work in their favor. With that final charge right at the end, they secured themselves that winner chicken dinner.
Gotta say, you know, we just gotta love all the action coming through. But of course, you know, we need to process a few things. So we are gonna be taking a very quick break. So be sure to stay tuned. And we'll be right back with all the action once again.
I'm designed, they wanna buy me, baby, I'm too pricey.
Openings in the hospital walls. What happened here? The three openings are located in the hospital's first floor, third floor, and the roof. So what's the purpose of these three openings, you ask? Well, if you like landing on the roof, and you can't find a weapon before meeting an enemy, then you might end up jumping off and hurting yourself. But with this opening, you can now explore the inside of the hospital quickly to find a weapon and make the first move. And bad luck will now be a thing of the past. Since the opening on the third floor is located at a strategic point, not only will it prevent others from camping there, you can also use it to move to the platform on the second floor quickly. How convenient is that? Speaking of the opening on the first floor, it's even better. Not only can you enter the hospital from the side, it's also perfect for sneaking up on the enemy and ambushing them. In actual battle, you can also use these three openings to adjust your position and develop new tactics. So what are you waiting for? Come and try it out for yourself now. Have you visited Milt of Power since the update? This area might be remote, but there are a ton of supplies to be found here. Looting the area after landing will more or less give you a steady start to the match. Even if you run into enemies, there's no need to panic. You should try to land at the 4 warehouses near the entrance if you can. Supplies are in plain sight here, so land and start grabbing weapons for a greater sense of security. After looting everything in the warehouses, take whatever you can from the nearby buildings too. The red brick building inside has complex terrain. Although it has abundant supplies, it's confusing and takes time to find them, so it's easy to get ambushed. The red brick building only has a few doors, but there are plenty of places for players to hide inside it. We can camp at the entrance and eliminate anyone who wanders over. If you've been waiting for a while, you can just aim for the rooftop. Most players like to find high ground to observe other players, so you can take out whoever you find there. You'll feel amazing and rich after taking out everyone there. Did you get all that?
Hello and welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Mobile MEA Fall 2022 Championship. Of course, we've already seen two pretty insane matches, right? Match number one, we had the Arabia teams Match number two, we had the Africa teams dominating. So, so far it's a 1-for-1 on either side. So some pretty exciting action coming through from these teams. But of course, speaking about excitement, we also have to give a lot of love out to Monster Energy, our official energy drink partner right here for the PUBG Mobile Pro Leagues. And of course, aside from the big shout out going out to Monster Energy, we also have a little bit of extra something for the viewers, right, in the form of our autumnal treasure. So you can get this in-game, so be sure to head on over. Now, it's quite easy, right? All you got to do is complete daily missions to get some pine cones. You get those rewards when you accumulate the required amount of pine cones. Now, every draw guarantees a reward, and the items already drawn will be removed from the prize pool and will not be repeated. Now, the UC costs increase with each draw, as they always do. And of course, the autumnal treasure vouchers can be used in this event at their specified UC values. Now, the event rewards are sent via in-game mail, so remember to collect them and don't forget about them. It's those lovely red dots that you have on the screen. So be sure to click on them and claim your rewards. And as you said, as a pretty nutty backpack that we can see right there.
Yeah, the jacket's pretty cool as well, but I would be aiming for the backpack 100%. Any day of the week, that backpack was mine. But of course, we know the teams, they have just performed a fantastic bout of brilliance over towards that first Miramar of this weekend. And of course, that second map of the day. So we have to take a look at the match rankings to see how the teams actually managed to pick up those points. But it was a spicy one, DK, towards the end there.
Oh, yes. I mean, if you want to talk about spice, there's quite a bit of that came through. And, this is just a reminder of what we had over in match one, right? With the players there from for Kurdistan finishing on those 26 points. But as we know, coming through in this one, we had the players from Slime 4KT locking in that pole position. And they did so with 12 eliminations to their name, putting them on a grand total of 27 points. We haven't seen that 30 bomb being dropped just yet, but the teams are building up that momentum, right? We get into second position with 22 points. Also, 12 eliminations to their name. So some heavy hitting plays coming through here.
Absolutely. The double elimination setup for Roach in terms of the points that we see here. I mean, top 6 teams picking up double-digit points that they're going to be adding to their tally. That is a great start onto the first Miramar of this week. But as we know, we have to take a look at that second page just to see who maybe took a trip to the bakery and who had at least a little bit of success in terms of those eliminations, like Virtual Gaming, picking up 3 points.
Well, I mean, this is quite the turn of events, right? The players there from for Kurdistan had quite a bit of success over on Irregular, and as we can see this time. But let's take a look at a few of the highlights from this past. Well, as we can see, right, it was sweaty all the way to the bank, with there's not being much opportunity for anybody to, get a little bit of that grace coming their direction. And I mean, this is what we love to see. Teams keeping it so competitive, so contentious all the way through. And I mean, we've only passed through the first 2 games. We still have 4 more to go for today. Now, as we know, next up, we are going to be heading over in towards Erangel to see what the teams are going to be bringing out onto the battlefield. Maybe we could see a little bit of reparation coming through as the teams look to patch up what might have gone wrong in their very first visit onto Erangel. But again, it is also kind of a fight, right? It's a competition, right? Between the Africa and the Arabia region to see which region will be the region to dominate, at least on this very first day. So far, as I said before, it is 1-1 apiece.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the first map going to the PMPL Arabian squads, and of course the second map going towards our PMPL Africa squads. So now it is a fight for that third map winner chicken dinner to see, as you've mentioned, who's going to be reigning supreme on the first day and making the biggest statements. But of course we know back to the second dose of Erangel provides an opportunity for the teams, especially the teams who found themselves in those hot drop positions, like with what we saw Titans up against, I believe it was Twisted Minds that might have lost that player earlier on. Now they have an opportunity to reset themselves, moving on to this one to ensure that that doesn't happen again, or potentially for the turnaround there to pick up the eliminations this time around.
I mean, it could happen either which way, but I definitely have to agree with you. I'd love to see a little bit of an evolution on those hot drops, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good hot drop.
Oh, yeah.
Every now and again,
like
right?
it.
But especially coming into the championship, you want to see the teams get themselves sorted out throughout that very first initial stage. And then from there on, just bring on the onslaught of aggression. But who knows, right? Maybe the teams are actually opting for a little bit of an overly aggressive approach. And that could be the result of these hot drops that we are seeing come through.
No, absolutely. Maybe they are going for that very aggressive point. I mean, towards the end of Mermaid,
आफूलाई सर्भाइभ